Welcome to R.C. Thornton and Associates, a Phoenix-based CPA firm whose mission is to help their clients achieve financial success. This is part of a series of career development insights for the professional interested in advancing their career. Stay tuned at the end to find out how to contact Chuck. We're here today with Chuck Thornton of R.C. Thornton and Associates. It's good to be back with you again. We're here to talk about how to deal with a difficult supervisor. I guess the first question that you would have to ask is, if you have a difficult supervisor, whose responsibility is it to solve that problem?
Great question. In fact, I think an item to really consider is it something that you want to have dealt with? And if you do, well, it would be nice if the supervisor realized there was a problem. It'd be nice if there was management that realized they had a problem. But the real world is that you're the one who knows where the discomfort is. And so if you have discomfort, you're going to need to take the responsibility to solve the situation.
Okay, we don't want to have this kind of thing going on in the firm. So I guess my question is, how do you do that?
Well, once you've accepted the responsibility that you're going to deal with the situation, then part of what you want to do is you want to go approach a supervisor in a friendly approach, and hopefully you have already taken the time to develop the rapport with the supervisor before this event came up.
Right.
And what you do is you talk with him and say, I'm feeling some discomfort about whatever the situation was, and the result of that is that you say, and you get a dialogue going back and forth.
Okay.
And you start trying to work towards a common solution. Sometimes even parroting what the other person said. Well, I understand your position is this. Be adult-like. Deal on adult level. There's a book out in this, long-time book called I'm Okay, You're Okay, that talks about dealing with adult-to-adult communication. Keep that communication on that level and work towards, we're trying to solve the particular problem that we might have.
Right, okay. Then now I have to ask the question, how aggressive should the subordinate be in doing all this?
How aggressive? Well, it depends on what your goals are here. Is it just you're momentarily unhappy? Is it a situation that is impeding your career? Is it a situation that you don't necessarily want to stay at the firm anyhow, you're going to leave tomorrow? You have to define what you're trying to accomplish. If it's important enough to you to solve it, right, then what you want to do is you want to get a little more aggressive about it. And at that point, you talk with the supervisor and say, we talked about these things here. I think we might be at an impasse. Would you agree? And how about, before we would go to the next level, how about if we make sure we both understand each other's position? You haven't threatened to go to the next level, but you've also echoed that you might. It's your last shot at that, and then you just simply take it to the next level.
Well, you've had a long and successful career. Have you ever had to deal, have you got a couple of examples of having to deal with this kind of thing?
Sure. When I was young and out of college, I remember my first job that I had, someone got me upset as supervisor, so I did what a lot of people do, I quit.
Good for you.
Yeah, I quit. And then I got another job later on, and our little situation popped up, and I said, hey, Chuck, you can't keep on quitting all the time. Right. You're going to have to deal with this thing sooner or later. So my situation was, it was a lady who was an audit supervisor, and what she did is she kept on getting me get coffee all the time. 10 o'clock, lunchtime, 2 o'clock, go get her lunch, go get this. I was the water boy on all this. And so I went along with it, yeah. But when the review time came, she gave me another review about how I did on the audit, and I said to her, well, may I share a few things with you? And she said, sure you can. And I explained to her, I said, it was very discomforting to me, yeah, to be turned into a person who is fetching things all the time. What was interesting is that she said, I had no idea that I was doing that. I should have. I don't know what the case was, but thanks for telling that to me.
Right.
And I said, we went on, and of course, eventually, we all moved to different places in our career. And about 3 years later, I met her at a party that was hosted by some financial planners, all these CPAs and everything. She was so excited to see me. She took me around to all these different people and introduced me as someone who used to work with her several years back.
Right.
And I really trace it back to, I think she just had true respect, the fact that I'd actually brought my discomfort to her.
Okay, so then the next question I want to ask you is, we want something more like this in our office. So how does R.C. Thornton and Associates deal with conflict resolution?
Well, I would love to say that we've never had conflict in our firm, but that would not be correct. What we did is we came up with a conflict resolution policy. And the policy mimics pretty much what I've been saying here. That is, you feel discomfort if it's not illegal, immoral, or unethical, in which case you go straight up to the top when that happens. If it's not, you go to the person that you perceive is causing the problem. Don't go to your friends, don't have lunch, don't have office politics. Go to the person that you think perceives the problem. Follow the scenario that I did with my supervisor I was telling you about myself. Share what the issues are back and forth, and then if it can't be resolved, the next step is they take it to the next level. But they both have to be prepared to make the presentation on behalf of the other person to this arbitrator of the problem. And what we found is almost no one ever got that far, because once they had to start hearing what the other person was saying, it was their case, they kind of solved the problems themselves.
And that's what you wanted, right?
Exactly.
Chuck, I can't tell you what a pleasure it is to have had you here today. Thanks so much for your insights. I really appreciate it. If you're interested in contacting Chuck, you can reach him at 602-678-7067, extension 15, or you can reach him also at the website at rcthornton.com.